About that story.
Right on.
Great. The Department of Homeland Security reportedly considering sending migrants from the southern border to cities deeper inside the United States. But the agency tells Fox News no decision has been made yet. This as a massive migrant caravan in Mexico heads for the southern border. Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton, he joins us now. Here's the spokesperson telling Fox News no decision has been made, and should one be made, DHS will continue to closely coordinate with and support cities and NGOs to facilitate the movement of any individual encountered at the southwest border who is placed into removal proceedings pending the next steps in their immigration proceedings. Do you buy that?
No, Dana, not at all. The reason why we have these migrant caravans, or we have so many migrants at the border, is that Joe Biden has invited them to come for the last 2 years. There's no space left at many of these facilities at the border precisely because there's such overwhelming numbers. That's why they're talking about relocating migrants to the other parts of our country away from the border. I agree that these migrants should be relocated. They should be relocated back to their home countries because they have no right to enter America. But Joe Biden apparently thinks that there are high levels of illegal immigration that we should tolerate. The only acceptable level of illegal immigration is zero.
So far, you're not going to get your way. In April, Title 42 is still in place, right? You come here, the pandemic law says you're returned back to your home country. In the month of April, there are 234,000 encounters by Border Patrol. And you had 50% of those returned by way of Title 42. The point being, they're not enforcing the laws that are there already, sir.
Yeah, Bill, and the point about Title 42 is a good one because although it was later enforced upon the Biden administration by a court, the simple fact that Joe Biden's administration announced that they were no longer going to apply that public health exclusion order sent a strong signal across the world that now was the time to come. If you had been turned back previously because of the coronavirus, or you'd heard that that was the case, now you could get here. So it didn't matter all that much that a court enjoined the Biden administration from ending that public health exclusion order because the wrong signals had already been sent, just like Joe Biden has been sending the wrong signals since his campaign.
I want to switch gears to this attempted assassination by the suspect who was arrested outside of Brett Kavanaugh's home. Of course, he's a Supreme Court justice. After that arrest, there was protests, additional protests from Ruth Sent Us. This is that group that is, to me, it's like the Westboro Baptist Church. However, as I understand it, there is a federal law that says you cannot protest out front of a federal judge's home. But last night, just after they had arrested a guy who had all these weapons, they had the protesters out there, but no one's arrested. So what is going on with that? Like, why not show some deterrence in the face of all of it?
Well, Dana, this is the shocking culmination of the Democratic left's war against the Supreme Court and really against our Constitution in America. Chuck Schumer a couple years ago went to the Supreme Court steps and by name attacked Brett Kavanaugh and said he would pay the price. He wouldn't know what hit him. And yesterday, a Democratic hitman showed up at Brett Kavanaugh's house to try to murder him and presumably his wife and his children. That very same night, just hours after a Democratic hitman tried to kill Brett Kavanaugh, you had left-wing street militias announcing on the internet, in public, in advance, that they were going to go violate federal law by protesting in front of a justice's home. As you say, there's an explicit federal law against protesting in front of the homes of judges or jurors. Yet again, the feckless and hapless Attorney General Merrick Garland did nothing. Even though he had advanced knowledge, he should resign in disgrace. And if he won't resign in disgrace, then we should start impeachment proceedings against him in January when we are in control of the Congress, because the rule of law in this country must be enforced evenly, irrespective of one's political parties and views.
Senator, thank you for your time. Tom Cotton, whether it's the border or Washington, D.C. or the suburbs of Maryland. Thank you, sir. We'll speak again.